What's happening? It's Contrast Uncut. It's season 2, episode 40. It's the season finale. Man, big shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. It's your host Zylo, aka DJ Juan Dollars, like I won some money. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we have a living legend, a legendary special guest. He's out of South LA, over there off the 110 freeway, off, by Manchester. He's an Emmy-nominated producer, an entrepreneur, an author, director, one of the most influential people of the game, maximizing the hustle in your own environment, making something out of nothing and evolving to a king, from fronted sacks to a kingpin of packs. He's an American icon. From the untold autobiography to the cracking the system to the ghetto Bible, his testimonies are everywhere. Freeway Rick Ross, everybody. How you doing, OG?
I like that introduction. Thank you.
I love, brother. I'm an influence on the environment. I wasn't too far away.
No, no doubt. And you forgot the 21 keys to success. As well as LA Kingpin.
Come on.
We ain't gonna stop until the casket drop. LA Kingpin in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The legend himself. The brand matches the name. And brother, I don't know if you remember, but I met you back in the day. Now this is back in 2009. This is shortly after you had got out and you was on your way to meet Jimmy Iovine at Interscope, and I met with you at Denny's right beforehand.
Yeah. Wow, that was a long time ago.
11 years ago.
That was before the lawsuit.
Come on.
When I sued Universal, and I did that, they told me I couldn't come back up to Interscope or Def Jam or none of them labels no more. So the security guards changed their tune on me. I used to come in there with as many people as I wanted and do whatever I wanted to do. But after that lawsuit, everything changed, But it's all good. I ain't tripping. Because I already knew.
I'm smiling.
I already knew who I was.
Come on. But
I need nobody to tell me.
That moment always stuck with me when I met you at the Denny's, because we had a little meeting. I had this idea, whatever, and it's for a whole bunch of festivals, and we met together, and it was dope. The idea didn't get to go out as much because how money works, and people talk the talk but don't walk the walk with the paycheck to the hand to make something happen. And boom.
Especially when you got to play with somebody else's money, when you got to ask them for the money. It was crazy the other day. It was a young brother that was an inventor, and he was going to the venture capitalist to borrow money, and the venture capitalist had the security guard to catch him by his jacket and throw him out. I said, well, he ain't getting no money from that dude. Come on. But it's cold when you got to go to dudes who feel that way about you and ask them for help. Can you get your career on, or can you get your business on? And we don't have our own spot that we could go to, and raise that loot, get that fetty, that cabbage, that cream.
Man, that financial stability to do something with OPM. No, you right. And the most beautiful thing you can do is learn to get it on your own and reproduce it on your own. Reinvent yourself and continue to keep that wheel going. Because when you attract wealth, that's the greatest gift of all.
Say it twice.
Man, when you attract wealth, the greatest gift of all. So, brother, I got a quote. Let me know how this quote relates to you, or if it doesn't, I just want you to talk about it, OG. You ready?
I'm ready.
Pay attention to whom your energy increases and decreases around. That's the universe giving you a hint of who you should embrace and who you should keep away from. Diddy.
I like it. I mean, definitely had a lot of meaning, and if people could recognize who they're around and why they are around that person, it would definitely help in a lot of situations, because a lot of times we have dead weight around us, people that we shouldn't be around, people that's gonna, like with me, when I was coming up, what I know now is that the people that I was following were sending me to jail. I didn't have enough sense to know that if they go to jail and you do the same thing they do, then you're gonna get the same results they've been getting.
Come on, they talk. Don't beat around the bush. People talk.
Yeah.
They take opportunities. Some
Yeah,
people glorified about it, unfortunately, in today's time. Other people, we don't talk about them no more.
No doubt. So it's very important that we know who we're around and why we're around them.
Come on. That team is important, but everyone forgets that it takes an I and win.
Real talk.
Come on. I'm talking to a person that I and everything in the winning.
Well, I do have the I in there, but it's also T as well. I'm never gonna forget that I couldn't do the things that I do without my team. And as long as you put the team before the I, you can win.
Oh yeah, but it takes that I to pick the team. You got to know the value, the core values.
And it keeps going back to the I and the team. It's like they're inseparable. We shouldn't want to separate them. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do right now with this Black agenda that I'm coming up with. It's going to be a situation where I is going to help pick the greatest minds in this country to help rebuild this country. My man said, a house built on the weaker foundation, it won't stand. Oh no. You can have all that pretty shit on and you can look fly and your shit is fucked up.
Come on.
For real. If we dig up under the dirt, and we're gonna find out you don't have no foundation on that motherfucker. The city will come and tell you to tear that shit down. You don't build no house without the foundation. So a lot of times we see this country has been built without a foundation. The foundation is weak. So we got to dig that thing up. You know what I'm saying? Dig it up, maybe start over, and put a foundation up under it.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with admitting when something's wrong, but the whole idea is that you got to get right to look like right.
For real.
So
not just look like right, but you will be right.
Yes, sir.
If you get it right, you ain't gonna look right. See, that's the saying that we get caught up in, the fake it till you make it. So you look like something, but you really ain't. See, it's people that look like they the man, but they really not the man.
Come on.
They only look like it, but they can't make the moves that the man would make because only the man can make those kind of moves. So you could be a coward and look like the man, but you really a coward.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Cochran said it best when he put the mask over his head. He said, it don't matter if OJ put this mask on, it's still OJ up under this mask. And no matter who we portray we are, when it's time to show and to prove, you can't do it because that's not really you. That's somebody else.
Come on, you can attest to this. Everyone wants to be real until some real shit happens. And then you're going to see that the coward is the one running away versus facing it and doing
Absolutely. Nor can he figure out how to solve the problem.
Facts.
Because that has never been his problem. He's only faking like it's his problem.
Come on. Freeway, I got to ask you, brother, did the game choose you or did you choose the game?
I don't know, man. I think, Malcolm X said, Planet Rock fell on me. You know what I'm saying? I was there, dumb, young, and was looking for an opportunity. And, I thought because the rock fell on my head, that was my opportunity.
Fell on your head and landed in your hand.
Yeah, so I took it. You know what I'm saying? I said, "Ooh, this must be from heaven." This is the blessing I've been looking for.
And the ability, because the game is just multiplied in so many different ways, and it's just exponentially used, that this system's incorporated in 5 different ways of other people's ways systems. And the business mindset, it's only right that you're successful today. That the introduction matches the person I'm talking to. from the evolution of going from this angle, this excuse to that's not my excuse, that's my reason to get it, and you know, and I'm gonna make something of it, to bro, you took it to the extreme that most people only, you know, they can scratch the surface.
Yeah, for real. And that's my goal right now, to do for not only myself, but for everybody else in this country who's willing to listen, who's willing to take the mask off and say, this is who I really am, but that's what I want to be. Because if you make up your mind that and realize that I am not the person that I want to be, but I'm willing to work to become that person, then it's possible.
Yes,
but if you're living in a fantasy or a lie, and you start to believe that lie, to think that you are him, but you really not, and it's gonna become a time that everybody's gonna find out.
Come on.
You know, just like right now,
like
we have all of these people who should have been our leader, but they don't know how to lead. We got the news people who don't know who to talk to.
Come on.
They hollering out Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z. Well, these people been left the hood.
Come on.
These people are not even black anymore. They look black. Their hair is nappy, but their mindset is changed. They don't know what it's like to struggle. They don't know what it's like not to have. See, anybody that's out here know why these kids are burglarizing and terrorizing. Yeah, it started off as the cop putting the knee in the brother's neck. But that was only the reason, to let out the frustration that's been sitting in. Because they've been out of work for 4 months almost. Food is lacking in the house, and you promised them stimulus checks that they never saw.
Come on.
You promised loans that they never got. So when all of this frustration is building up, and all they see is the power that be, and they don't know who is part of the power. They only see the haves and the have-nots. So if you a have, they think that you got it illegally or wrong or on their parents' backs. And they feel that you should share.
Ooh. No, that's deep as hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because, you know, the reality is that most people don't know what the struggle is. They can just talk about it as, you know, what they can observe, what they see on TV. But until they know what it's like to come into a house and not have hot water or electricity and just the cold water that runs through and some candles, you know, that's a way of how you like, okay, I got to grow to never have this again. And they don't understand that that puts a chip on your shoulder to keep that energy moving forward, that, you know what, I'm going to put a little extra in everything I'm doing so that I can get extra out of life. You know, the whole point why I do this show, brother, is that there's people in life that are afraid of success. They come from the neighborhoods like I come from, you come from. And, you know, what happens is that they get afraid of, you know, the possibility that they could be something they want to be. And, you know what, they'd rather sit back and do what they're used to. They don't leave the neighborhood. And, you know, I've been a victim of it until I realized that I have to leave it. I have to grow greater. And, you know, it don't mean that I'm far away from it. But at the same time, you know, the mentality is you have to reach for your goals and do something about it. Go over that cul-de-sac that's a wall and make it a bridge to make it something, you know, your dreams happen and make it a livelihood of life. And, you know, you've been able to do that through and through. I mean, you took it from sitting down and got yourself out where most people would never have been able to keep. And, you know, the admiration of hustle inside of you is just nothing will ever stop you, brother. And, you know, you inspire millions and millions of people. And so, you know, as we talking about what you're going to do and what you're doing now is just so impactful for right now.
No doubt, no doubt. And while I was down is how really I came up with this plan. You know, and yes, the plan keep evolving because I keep evolving. You know, now I'm out. I had a plan that when I made my original plan, I was in a box where I couldn't see the sunlight.
Come on.
So that plan was from the darkness. But now I'm out here in the light and I can see what's needed. I can see what my people are hurting for and what their desires are and what their needs are. And so now my plan evolves to deal with that. Not because it's not just me. You know, yeah, I could probably take what I got and go get me a house, you know, somewhere in the country and grow my own vegetables and live there with my family and live happily ever after. But I would still see the things that's going around in society. Right. You know, I can still see that our country is being run by weaklings. Weaklings, not strength. And from what I have always believed is that the strongest and the smartest should always lead.
Facts.
But we've changed, and now it don't matter about your smarts or your strength. It's now your views.
Your popularity.
And how popular you are. And that should never be what drives an economy.
Come on.
A system of justice. Because if you do, then you can allow the weak to be in charge and to make decisions that are going to be weak decisions for everybody. And a strong man, he can't see doing no weak shit.
Now, OG, what's some of the highs and lows you face since, you know, throughout your whole career that, you know, we see this man today that's a made man that has overcame? Like,
well,
you know,
my highs is I've made as much as $3 million a day. My lows is I was in jail. One of them two. Yeah, in the black bag. My lows is that I was in prison, in a cell with about 30, 40 people that was originally made for 10. And you would be in that cell from 4 a.m. to 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and sometimes as late as 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So that time would wear on you so much that now you don't care if you have to lay on the floor where somebody had urinated right next to you. Somebody was taking a dump and the whole cell stunk. There were people in there that hadn't showered in days and weeks. It was times that I didn't have money to buy regular toothpaste, so I had to use government issue. Those are some of the lows.
Fair enough.
Yeah. One of my partners told me, you know, when I went and dealt with I was, you know, they was trying to buy my movie rights. They thought I was trying to sell, but I wasn't trying to sell. I was just being polite and took the meeting. You know, you call a meeting, you ask me to come meet with you, I'm gonna go to be polite. But that don't mean I got nothing to sell or that I'm trying to do a deal with you.
Right.
No matter how much money I got, that don't make me feel no kind of way towards you because you got all the money. I still understand that you bleed, that you had to go to the bathroom, that you hurt, that people in your family is gonna die, and one day you're gonna die. and you won't be able to take the money with you. And that you will be remembered by the deeds you done.
Facts. Legacy.
So when I deal with them, to me, you're not God. And I don't respect you no more than I respect no other man, which I feel everybody should get the utmost respect, because that's what I want. So when I want it, I give it back. And sometimes you give it and you don't get it, but that's not your fault that you didn't get it back. Something wrong with them, because if they know the laws of the universe, they say it's like a boomerang. Whatever you throw out comes back to you in some form or some fashion. So.
Oh yeah, I believe it tenfold. Sometimes your life has a snowball effect where everything happens for you. The universe is working. Your ideas that you manifest and have come to life faster than you can keep up. And then the ability of keeping up with it is just like, and you know, that definitely happens a lot. And then there's times where nothing you're trying to do works. And you got to figure out what's wrong with yourself. What's going on in your world? Who do you have to forgive in yourself to move forward?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So those are the things that I'm dealing with as a human being. And, you know, we're pushing that forward. That's how this agenda came up, you know, the Black agenda. You know, that we should get the smartest Black men that we can find. Or not just Black men, but any man that wants to participate. But I do understand that some people are not going to want to support it because it's going to be helping, you know, the minority in this country and not the majority.
You know what's crazy, bro, is that, you know, the minority is now the majority. You know, everywhere you turn, every major city you look at is now a pretty much minority is running it. It is the majority of the population. But the fucked off way of how our society is, we still got to call ourselves the minority.
Right. No doubt. And the lighter your skin is, the better you fit in.
That's facts. You know how many times I rode in the passenger seat just, you know, to be a runner? Come on, I done jumped Amtrak and some more stuff just because I got the skin color. But you know, when you come from the block, you got to do things to be able to be smiling and wiggle with everyone else. You ain't got to be.
That's cool.
You know,
our ancestors went through so much to get over here that it's crazy. You know, can you imagine what it would be like to be on the sea for 60, 90 days, shackled, defecating on yourself, women having babies, you know, having their periods, and they don't even give them a bath. And this is 90 days, people dying right next to you, and you chained to them, and they leave them chained to you, and the body starts to decay. I mean, the food that they're serving you is not fit for consumption. My ancestors were strong and smart. You know, it took a lot to make it, because a lot of people wouldn't have, you know, some jumped over the ship. You know, they didn't want to deal with it and died. And some did things to make them kill them. You know, say, I'm gonna kill me some. I know y'all gonna kill me, but I'm gonna take some with me. So a lot went into what we went through, but all of that prepared us to be who we are today.
Yes, sir.
And I think we're in a great position. But in order to take advantage of this, we must focus. We must channel our energy. And that's what an agenda does for you. An agenda makes you point to the thing that's happening right now today, tomorrow, what are you gonna be doing? And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm creating an agenda. We're gonna be having Zoom meetings every Saturday. We're gonna start having classes where people can come on and get game, from learning how to market, how to promote themselves, how to build your credit up, the value of having good credit, just so much stuff we're doing right now that I'm just excited, man.
Oh, and then you also got the Looking for Game podcast, a show that you're doing, and so
you
working,
blowing up. That thing is getting so much notoriety. So many people want to participate in that. That is crazy.
No, it's a beautiful thing, brother. You learn to say that certain things ain't crazy no more. It's just amazing. Because when shit don't make sense, it's crazy. When it makes sense and it's manifested, it's amazing.
Yes, it's amazing.
There you go, brother. So, bruh, I gotta ask, because I've definitely done my history, done my research. You're a real boss. You take big losses before in your history. You have lost $1 billion in this industry. And, not too many people can honestly say that and still live to talk about it. And so, we talked about it briefly about reinventing yourself to, keep on reemerging and emerging. You talked about all the things you're doing, so that you continue to reinvent yourself and emerge. But what is what is the thought process with you on how do I keep on cracking the scenes?
Well, you got to find ways to keep yourself relevant. Like you said, you got to constantly reinvent yourself. You got to constantly be uncomfortable. A lot of people, they get where they're comfortable, they get a nice little nest egg and they say, oh, I'm good with this. This is where I'm gonna stay. Well, with me, I don't want to be comfortable. I want to keep expanding. One of the things that really frightens me about success is that this time around, I'll never get to do it again. I'll never get to struggle again. I'll never have to lay on that floor with 30 or 40 dudes in a cell and smell another man using a bathroom in an area that's so small that everybody in there is affected. And people might say, damn, who want to go through that? But those were experiences that taught me the value of being in your own bathroom, having your own bed, being able to turn the lights on, being able to go to the store whenever you choose. Having those things taught to you, in my personal opinion, is invaluable. So they allow me to recognize blessings and hardship.
What is your definition of success?
Success is what every man deems successful to himself. Some people may deem success of going to work on a 9-to-5, making $25 an hour, where he can have his nice house with the picket fence, 2 cars, a wife and a couple kids, could be success. To some other people, making it to the NFL could be considered a success, or the NBA. For me, my success is to be able to do whatever I want to do at any given time. Meaning that if I wanted to jump on a plane right now and fly to Chicago, I could do that. If I want to fly to New York right now, I can do that. When I get there, I can stay in a 5-star hotel. I can call Uber to come pick me up, or a limousine if I want to. I don't have the wealth that some other people have. I can't buy an airplane or a helicopter. I can't go to the NBA. Well, I could go to the NBA championship game if I wanted to, But if I started to do those things, would stop me from having the ability to do the things that I really want to do.
Meaning,
like meaningful things, like go and do a book signing in Chicago just because I want to, or Houston or wherever. Those are the things that I consider a success. Having gas money, being able to eat when my family's not homeless. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that I consider successful. All the other stuff is just, having my own brand. That's icing on the cake. That'll be money that I'll be able to start to help other people with. Like, okay, this is what it takes to accomplish the kind of success that I have and what I consider successful. You may not consider that being successful. Some people believe, smoking a blunt every day, getting it high, is a sign of being successful. And in essence, it is, because that's what the person decided made him successful. This book here is a sign of success for me. I wrote this book when I was in prison, and I thought about doing it, and it came about. Now this one here, this is just icing on the cake. This is about my first 6 months out of prison. The 21 keys of success. Now people read it, great. I wrote the books so that people could read the book and get inside of my head to figure out what it was that I had done, and to see if they could follow suit.
What were some of the struggles you faced writing the book and doing the film? Because I mean, like, certain people, everybody always wants to have a story about themselves, but the reality is there is a few hundred people that their lives were really crazy that it should be documented, just as your life was documented. And so it's like, what is some of the obstacles you face, and people that want to be in that situation, that have authenticity?
Lack of money is one of the main ones, because to do a book, it costs money. Right. You got to hire editors, ghostwriters, people who do the cover. Then you got to get the book printed. So the money is always an obstacle. So many people who want to do books can't because they can't afford. I self-publish. I own my own publishing company. So I'm looking for authors as well who can't get their book done. You can come to me and I can give you some assistance on getting that done as well. But that's just another sign of what I consider successful, is to be able to help somebody else accomplish their book dreams.
I feel like a lot of the stuff where people held that was hard for you to do, you found a way to make it easy for others, and that's how you incorporate it. And that's your way of giving back.
Yeah, it's my way of giving back, but it also helps me get rich too.
Yeah.
Because if I help somebody else, then they want to help me.
Facts.
And what I found out, the more people you help, because everybody don't give back like they're supposed to. You can help some people, and they ain't gonna give you shit back. Sometimes you throw the boomerang and it goes haywire. It gets off, hit the wind or something, and it throws it off.
A story versus it's supposed to be coming back. It become a whole story.
So what I look at is to keep throwing the boomerang.
Yeah.
And then eventually, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back more than it doesn't come back. But you're going to run into it. Just think the first time you throw it, it don't come back. And you could be totally discouraged and like, I ain't throwing that motherfucker no more. I'm done with it. I quit. The system don't work for me. But what I found out is that you can't quit, because it's like farming. If you farm, you could plant the seeds and the birds come and eat your seeds. Or the rain could come and wash everything away. But if you study your trade and you stay on your grind, pretty soon those seeds are gonna take root and you're gonna get the crop that you had been looking for.
You know, it's crazy, OG, is that I've been told a lot by a lot of mentors, just a lot of people. I'd ask them a question younger before I even thought about this show. And I'd be like, you know, what's some advice you can give? Be consistent. And then that's all they would say is be consistent, not explain shit else except for be consistent. And you just literally gave the definition of how to be consistent and, you know, make a difference. And I appreciate you. Man, you've been dropping gems this whole episode. Like you just a jeweler, and diamonds is just something you like to see dance.
I mean, you know, if we ain't giving out jewels, then what we doing?
Come on.
We just talking shit.
Come on. Hey, it takes a long time for people to realize what's in you, but the better you are at giving it off and putting it on other people and allowing them to recognize their gifts, you know, all we can do is celebrate and party after that.
Huh. Real talk. Because that's what it's going to be, a big party.
Yes, sir.
Because everybody is doing well. Ain't nobody hating.
Come on. Everybody teach you that. If you really study how real organized shit goes, if everyone's eating, everyone's happy, there ain't nothing to fall off. Ain't nothing gonna fall through the cracks. And you know, that's how big record labels have started, and they started off real small. And you know, and so many other television, you know, so many other things.
No doubt.
But bruh, you know, I have this segment, it's my awareness segment. And, you know, I definitely want you to weigh on this topic. It is a big thing that we facing now. You my 100th episode, by the way. And so, you know,
Congratulations.
Thank you. And, you know, so I've asked 99 people before you this same question, so don't feel, you know, it's odd because of right now and the time we're in. But, you know, I'm talking about police interaction. I'm talking about when the red and blue lights hit, that high beam hits the back of everyone's neck in the car and you hear the blurp sound. And I asked every guest when was the last time they pulled over and what's some advice they can give to, you know, people in a situation of dealing with the police.
Well, I was pulled over 8 months ago. I was sitting at a hotel and I was dropping a friend off at his hotel from out of town, and I was parked in a loading zone and the cops pulled up, and he asked me to get out the car. And I didn't want to get out the car. I told him, here's my driver's license, my insurance and registration. You know, do your job. Anyway, he ran my name, and then my son was with me. He was on parole. So when they found out my son was on parole, they automatically demanded us out of the car. And once he told me to get out the car, he wanted me to sit on the ground. And I don't suggest this to everybody, but I felt pretty good this night. That I wouldn't be shot. So I told him I wouldn't sit on the ground, but if they felt that I had to go on the ground, they could take me to the ground. And that's what they did. They took me down. I was lucky, you know, when I saw George on the ground, you know, begging for relief, it reminded me of the night that I was on the ground and I was begging because he had his knee in my chest instead of my back, instead of my neck, but it still made it hard for me to breathe. My hands was cuffed behind my back, which was painful to have cuffs as tight as they could get them, cutting in your skin. And on top of that, they are on the ground where the good thing about me, it was only 2. You know, with George, they had 3. So I was still able to wiggle. And I've been like this before too. You know, I've been in a position to where I had a 12-gauge shotgun right here in my face. I was shackled, hands and feet, and they let the dog bite me while I was handcuffed and shackled. They had this 12-gauge shotgun, but the dog bites got so bad that I didn't care if he shot. You know, it was like, I can't take it no more, shoot me. You know, just go ahead, get it over with. But I was not gonna let that dog continue to rip my flesh open like he did. I'm talking about, I got scars on my legs like this long, you know, and this is like 30 years old. But the scars will never go away. They're still on my leg, you know. So I know exactly how it feels. You know, I've been in that position. But, you know, I was playing that game. You I put myself in that game that they treated people like that was in that game. They were jealous. They were envy. And then they turned out to start doing the same thing that we was doing. They started selling dope and everything, would rob me and then take the dope and plant on somebody else, and would take their dope and plant on me, and just sell the dope to other people, just all kind of stuff. But anyway, a terrible feeling, scary. And when I saw this guy doing this to George, I'm glad I wasn't there. I don't know if I could have stood there with the camera and not at least make the other little guy at least take me down. He would have probably had to take me down, and he might have put his knee on my neck, but I don't think I could have stood there being in that same situation, knowing the excruciating pain. I'm going to court for it too right now. They charged me with assault on a police officer.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I also had to hire a lawyer to defend myself. We haven't got no body cams or anything like that, but the coronavirus stopped me from going to trial. I told them I want to go to trial. They offered me a deal. I said, I don't want no deal. You put me in jail. This is when I go to jail for. I'm only looking at about 30 days in jail. Hopefully by the time, if they find me guilty, then the coronavirus will be out of the jailhouse, and I'll just go in there and do me some push-ups and some sit-ups and come out on cut up. But because I ain't scared to go to jail. I did 20 years.
Come on. Now, Freeway, a lot of the OGs I've had on the show, they definitely brought out one important factor. If you do recognize that it's gonna go wrong, they say, what you're supposed to do is just say, take me to jail. Don't fight with them. Don't go through this, that, and the other. Just end it. This is what you can do. This is all you can do. It's either we can get this or that. You gonna let me go or take me to jail?
I agree that definitely. Well, the first thing you should do is ask for the captain or the sergeant. Immediately. As soon as he asked me to get out of the car, I should have told him, will you call the captain? I could have left my windows up, locked my doors, and just been like, man, call the captain. But with that, you're going to jail for sure for resisting arrest. But you can feel a little safer if the captain comes out. Usually they've been policing for quite a while. They're not scared. It's usually those young rookies, who just left the military, who have that, I'm gonna say the world. I'm gonna be the jury, the judge, and the prosecutor, and the defense attorney all at the same time. Those are the ones that you really have to be careful about. And I've had quite a few of those, $9.9 million. What's that? They did great. They were just telling me that George's family raised $9 million to help the family with the autopsy and so forth.
Amazing.
We saw the autopsies are totally different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I've been trying to get the lady who owned the nightclub, because I believe that the cop and George, they worked at the same nightclub.
Yeah, actually, somebody I know got an interview with her. DJ Ghost got it. Shit, let me look up the lady's name real fast.
I know her name. Her name is Maya. I talked to her. She's supposed to do an interview with me, but I haven't. I haven't gotten it yet. But see, I can make that case for him. I done read so much case law that I can piece that shit together. See, I already know what happened. It's gonna come out that this guy and George had an altercation inside the club. Look what the lady said. She said on Hispanic nights, they treated the patrons one way, respectful. Said if a fight broke out, break the fight up, party probably go on. But on Black night, a fight jump off, 5-6 police cars come, they roughing up everybody, even people who didn't have nothing to do with it. And I can imagine with George, at the club, the cop is just a security guard. He's not a police officer. You moonlighting as a police officer, but you're not a police officer.
Come on, bro.
When you
been
at the
in
club.
Hollywood, bro. I done seen the off-duty cops take them security jobs and beat the brakes off of people in the parking lots and tell them they the police, and you can't do shit about it.
But see, when George is there, George already know. So him and George is on equal ground. So George seen handling his sisters and the brothers wrong, and he stepped to him. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. And he probably looked at George, and George was a big brother, and said, man, this brother might beat the brakes off of me. But then he got an opportunity because he wasn't even an arresting officer.
Hey.
Usually the arresting officer is the one that handles the suspect. He goes in your car, you the one cuffed him, you already cuffed him.
You gotta do the paperwork.
Do the paperwork. He's your guy. I just come here to assist you. But how do you come in my situation and you take over?
Come on. There's more to it than just to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, I gotta go. My phone blowing up. You know, this was on a short notice, so I gotta make some other moves.
Okay, shit.
What else you have to ask me?
Bruh, I'm just gonna get to the end of it, bruh. TV series coming. You know, do we got anything coming from you? You know, what are you most excited for?
I'm getting ready to do my movie. The investors, they only want to do one movie, but the writer said it should be two. So I'm gonna raise the money now to do two movies. I got the TV series I'm working on. I'm working on a couple reality shows. But the thing that I'm most excited about right now is this the agenda for the Black community. I'm stoked about that. You know, my marijuana product. I'm going to have the biggest marijuana product in the business. My books are still selling well. I'm working on a third book right now. I won't get a name out at this time, but it's coming. It's coming, and it's gonna be dope.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now, bro, you notice my show's a little different. It's unique. I try to close it out in a special way with that same energy, and I flip it on my guests and say, you got any questions for me?
Well, I appreciate you doing what you do. You know, keep being real. Don't sell out for the money. You know, when they start offering you that money to change, keep your format. You know, I think you're gonna do well, man.
Appreciate that, brother.
For real.
Boom. It's Contrast Uncut. It's season 2, episode 40, the season finale. Man, big shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. I wouldn't be able to do incredibly dope shit like interviewing one of the most influential people of our time, Freeway Ricky Ross. I appreciate you, brother, coming on the show and just shining that light and shining the knowledge and, you know, ingesting it for people to be able to take with them more than just in here, but in here. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for having me on. And big shout out to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is your man, Freeway Ricky Ross. I'm giving a big shout out to Contrast Uncut, Snoop Double DOG, and I forgot who else.
Bobby D.
Bobby D.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Appreciate you, brother. God bless, brother. I appreciate you. And, you know,
no doubt.
Run across.
No doubt.